Okay, hi everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying QuickBooks Connect this year. Just kind of want to start out by addressing that in today's world, automation is a must-have to get ahead and stay there. That being said, my colleague and myself are here to really discuss how TrueCommerce can help automate your EDI and e-commerce processing. So let's kind of get started by doing a round of introductions. My name is Shane Quinn. I've been with TrueCommerce for about 4 years. I am one of the sales executives here that deals directly with our solution and QuickBooks integrations. I'm also here, joined here by James Roth. James, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, thanks, Shane. I am James Roth. I'm the Director of Sales Engineering, been with TrueCommerce for about 10 years now. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, James. Awesome. So let's kind of dive in and get started by going over the agenda quickly here. So for the agenda today, we're going to start by highlighting current industry challenges and roadblocks companies face in the dynamic market. Next, we're going to do a brief overview of our solution and our unique value proposition, which we really believe is going to, demonstrate how TrueCommerce can be a strategic technology partner for your companies. After that, my colleague James is going to conduct the live demonstration, including a few of our various different applications, such as our package ship solution, external and EDI integration back into QuickBooks. And then lastly, we're just going to walk through implementation and support methodology. So let's dive in and kind of get started here. So back before the omni-channel revolution, the supply chain model was, very, very straightforward, as raw materials moved in one straight line from factory to distribution centers, then to the retailer before it went to the customer. That model really helped businesses standardize their supply chain process with a high level of efficiency and repeatability. You can look at companies like Nike and Apple that traditionally did follow this supply chain model. Today, they are actually the manufacturer, the retailer, the e-tailer, and the distributor. They're working with all these various different channels to make sure that they are where their customers need them to be. And they also are doing this to make sure they gain the proper revenue to grow and run their businesses efficiently. So while this transformation, created so many opportunities, it definitely did create more challenges for managing multiple channels and processes. So the more links that you try to add to your supply chain, such as selling on marketplaces, your own e-commerce stores, participating in dropship programs, or selling to retail, the more complex things can get. So, what we're here to focus on is how to get you from that broken chain model that can create more headaches and more work on your behalf to a smooth functioning solid chain model to help streamline your process. So, just based on that, third parties have actually validated that a new approach is really necessary to manage the supply and fulfill demand in today's world. So a software analyst firm called Gartner calls this new approach the multi-enterprise supply chain business network. They were actually quoted by saying multi-enterprise supply chain business networks support a community of trading partners that need to coordinate and execute on business processes that extend across multiple enterprises. But no matter what you actually do call it, what is needed to help businesses with this complexity is actually a commerce network. So this is very different than a single channel provider like traditional EDI that just really linked trading partners on an individual one-to-one basis. So a commerce network actually enables trading, collaboration, commerce, inventory management, and fulfillment to provide better visibility and decision-making across the board for you. So there is good news. There's a solution out there that can tackle all of these challenges and complexities for you. So let me introduce you to the TrueCommerce Foundry platform. So just a quick look inside of TrueCommerce Foundry, which illustrates various integrated components that make up our network, addressing the evolving supply chain challenges that I described earlier. So TrueCommerce Foundry is a platform of applications and services that connects and integrates customers, suppliers, channels, your carriers, and all of your systems together. And as you can see here, our solutions include various different applications to help you stay more connected, such as supplier enablement for your procure to pay process, drop shipping and e-invoicing, e-commerce such as B2B and B2C storefronts, or even taking email orders such as PDFs and enabling them all back into QuickBooks as sales orders, helping you with your customer commerce channels. Additionally, we can assist with your inventory management with our PIM solution, such as item cataloging and capturing images, rich content of your items, and enabling you to push those based on customer-specific requirements. And then lastly, areas such as multi-carrier shipping automation with our pack and ship solution that you're going to see a little bit of here today. But a bunch of applications, really doesn't address all of the challenges. So, how do you make sure every software component that you purchase doesn't have a completely new learning curve, setup process, maintenance, support plan, and knowing who to call whenever things do go wrong? So TrueCommerce has really tackled this challenge with our complete unified user experience. It's an interface that provides the same look and feel across all of our applications and services. And this really is going to help your companies easily add new applications over time without a complete lengthy implementation process. And it makes it extremely simple for new users to learn. And this diagram really highlights the breadth of our network connectivity to multiple channels and systems. So through one accounting system integration directly back into QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, Activate, Fishbowl, whatever you're using, you're actually able to connect with all of your retailers via EDI, your storefronts, your marketplaces, your carriers, 3PL partners, all through one system and one provider. It's extremely beneficial versus the other solutions out there that are taking 5 different packages with 5 different providers. And obviously there's going to be tremendous cost savings involved and obviously, reduced internal system management in having a single provider handle all facets of your business. Lastly, on the screen here, these are just really some of the partners that we connect with on our network. TrueCommerce maintains a huge trading partner library today with a little bit over 93,000 pre-built trading partners on the network currently today. So to effectively deliver these solutions, we leverage a true managed service model. So TrueCommerce manages all connectivity so that you don't have to worry about what protocol is being used for each trading partner. We also manage all trading partner mapping and updates and deliver them to your account instantly so that you always do remain compliant. Additionally, we build and maintain the QuickBooks integration here in-house, which is going to eliminate any third-party providers and drastically reduce the time to resolution. Of course, all of these services are complemented by unlimited support and maintenance so that your team doesn't need to hesitate to call us if you're in need of help. And then lastly, we round everything out with a full disaster recovery plan to ensure your business is always connected. So one thing I just want to kind of point out is you may have heard other companies claim and promote managed services. The bottom line is it can't be a managed service if it has to be built and maintained by multiple providers. So TrueCommerce is the only company that can help you do business in every direction. An example of a customer success is actually Mommy's Bliss. So Mommy's Bliss is in the industry of all natural baby care. They use our solution for EDI and QuickBooks Enterprise integration with many of their retailers. So our solution was actually able to help them eliminate manual processes, improving order accuracy and processing speeds. They were able to manage account relationships with larger retailers by meeting all of the EDI labeling and shipping requirements. Our scalable EDI solution made it much easier for them to bring on new customers as they were growing. And then lastly, reducing the need to add additional personnel to process orders was a cost-saving point for them as well. And just a few more customer success stories. So Vandermortel actually uses TrueCommerce Transaction Manager and QuickBooks Online integration. And with our managed service approach, combined with excellent support and maintenance, has experienced tremendous success in order processing and customer communication. Cafe Lodro, another one of our customers, uses multiple Foundry applications. They actually use Transaction Manager and External to streamline and automate both EDI and e-commerce orders down into their QuickBooks Enterprise solution, saving them time and effort when it comes down to the processing of orders. And then lastly, Show and Hut, they use Transaction Manager and QuickBooks Enterprise. And they were actually quoted by saying, now instead of having to log on to multiple websites to process orders and entering data by hand, everything is completely automated. So these are just a few of the customer success stories. We also do have many others on the website. You can check those out on your free time, or if you want to contact us, we're more than happy to send those over to you via email as well. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to kind of start getting things ready to hand over to James for the live demonstration. But first, let's quickly go over what we are going to be showing here. So as you can see on the screen, we integrate with all the versions of QuickBooks, both online and desktop. So, you could see various different EDI documents, that play well with each version of QuickBooks. But typically what we like to do, our standard process would be a formal discovery to determine which version of QuickBooks you guys are using first and foremost. Next, we want to determine the process flow that you're working with here today. And then lastly, determine what documents are going to be required in the document flow that your customers and vendors will be expecting. So, at this point, I would like to get things over to James to put some visuals to these processes in our Foundry. as well as integration to QuickBooks. So James, were you ready to take over the controls here?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is James Roth, and I am the Director of Sales Engineering here at TrueCommerce. Been working in the QuickBooks space for about 10 years as well. This is my 6th QuickBooks Connect. This is my first time being remote and joining you from the East Coast. But I'm truly excited and happy to be here presenting to you our solution, our services, and our company today, and how we can help QuickBooks companies do business in every direction. Today, we're just going to take about a half hour and walk through Foundry. We're going to walk through a live process of receiving orders in, bringing those orders into QuickBooks, showing you how we can pack and ship those orders, how the invoice gets captured, and how the invoice and inventory will go back out. But before we walk through with QuickBooks 2021, we're just going to take a quick peek at Foundry at a high level just to educate you on how our solution is structured. We're going to switch back to QuickBooks in a minute. We're going to first cover TrueCommerce Foundry, which is our truly cloud-based solution. I have Foundry as a favorite in my toolbar in Google Chrome, but if you use Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Safari on your iPad, it's completely fine. So written in HTML5, browser agnostic. You can access the home page first. If this is the first screen you would like to see, this landing page doesn't do much. It's more of just an introduction to Foundry. If you navigate to the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see the full root menu of our solution. So if you click on the cheeseburger, the Big Mac, whatever we want to call the 3 lines, the start menu, you'll see a few of our applications listed here. This is just a sampling of our applications. We're going to cover today Pack and Ship. We're going to cover Transaction Manager. And instead of navigating through the full root menu that some customers choose to do, I use quick links. I also use favorites. So on the left, customers are going to be able to create quick links and set up their favorite places. So instead of navigating through a full root menu, you can use an image to associate to your favorite place. For example, if I wanted to click on my bar chart, that'll take me to the reporting solution, which allows me to run reports on a number of different documents, different trading partners or different connections, different customers, vendors, third-party warehouses. But I could run reports to show orders that came in from last month or this month, month to date, that have not been exported to QuickBooks, right? Whether it's QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. So this will make sure that you have all of the orders that came in to you from customers captured inside of your business system, inside of your accounting system, which today we're talking about QuickBooks Enterprise. But any version of QuickBooks, Pro, Premier, Enterprise, with advanced inventory is fine. And we also support QuickBooks Online as well. So the reporting tool is very handy. It allows for just additional greater visibility to what's happening over our commerce network, to and fro the customers, vendors, 3PLs. We refer to those as trading partners. Okay. The next quick link we're going to click on is the shopping cart. And this is going to be if I use an external for my e-commerce or shopping cart experience that's embedded into your existing website. So what we're going to be doing for you is not only synchronizing with your existing website, but we're going to be matching your brand. So when a customer goes into your website, they can add products to the shopping cart, much like an Amazon experience. So an external is our e-commerce solution that would compete against like a Shopify or a Magento, but we also partner with those companies and have connectors for those e-commerce solutions as well. So an external is great, but we do also work with a lot of other e-commerce solutions, which is very important nowadays with everyone shopping from home and having that Amazon experience. We're going to dive deeper into Pack and Ship towards the live demonstration when we get into working with QuickBooks. But there's a number of ways to pack and ship your orders or select the orders to add to a shipment. We'll come back to this screen. This is going to allow you to batch ship orders if you use Pack and Ship, which again, we'll dive into a little deeper here as time goes on. But this would allow for batch shipping, rate shopping with the most common small parcel carriers, both in the US and Canada. We have an LTL module, which we'll discuss as well. And I'll ship a few orders today for us just so you can see how that works. But batch shipping is very important, especially with the e-commerce boom that we're seeing now, with everyone working and staying at home. The next quick link is a box truck, and this reminds me of shipping. So if I use Pack and Ship in the warehouse, I have all of my orders from QuickBooks fed into Pack and Ship for my warehouse personnel, so they could either quickly click on the order to add it to a shipment or scan that in with a barcode scanner, and then that would be added. Again, we're going to come back to Pack and Ship here in a little bit, just giving you the lay of the land. We're going to be clicking a few buttons today. Okay, and the actions that I press and the buttons that I click can be scheduled. So you'll notice that I have a little calendar which takes me to Scheduler. And Scheduler would be that tool to automate the flow of sales orders into QuickBooks from all of the different channels that we connect our customers to. So instead of going out to Vendor Central to grab the order, or going to Commerce Hub or Target's portal to grab an order, the order will flow directly into the mailbox that we have for our customers called Transaction Manager, which we'll get to next. And then those orders will flow or export or be released to QuickBooks at a time that you schedule. And that could be set up every hour of every day, every half hour of every day. Hopefully we'll have some time and we can come back to Scheduler to show you how not only can this create sales orders, but we can also send invoices out of QuickBooks directly to a customer that needs an electronic invoice. Okay, so we can import and send all invoices at the end of the day or throughout the day, every hour of every day. We're also able to automate the communication to and fro Pack and Ship. So pulling orders from QuickBooks, routing those orders to Pack and Ship for my warehouse, or maybe I have a third-party warehouse and I need to send the order to a third party. That's fine. That can be fully automated as well. The last subject we're going to touch on with QuickBooks is inventory. It's very important nowadays to update customers if you're selling on Target.com or Amazon or Shopify or Magento, WooCommerce. It's important to send your inventory levels to those channels so you don't oversell and overpromise and underdeliver. Okay, so we have a direct feed from QuickBooks to your trading partners so that inventory is updated in basically real time. Okay, and you can schedule that a couple times a day just so that your customers are updated. Right? So just know that everything we go through today with Transaction Manager and with Pack and Ship can be mostly scheduled. Right? But we're going to go through the manual process now. I'm going to click on TM, and that quick link reminds me of Transaction Manager. You might be thinking trademark. I say Transaction Manager. Transaction Manager is the mailbox that we have for our customers on our network. So they would access it just like they would Gmail, right? Logging into Google servers to access your email. Same concept. This is a little different, although it looks very much like an email application. The inbox would be where orders first appear. Once the order hits the inbox, whether it's an EDI order, whether it's a CSV order that came in through email, or a partner drops it off in an FTP location, however that order comes into the network, we will notify you with an email. And that can go out to multiple individuals. Multiple users can receive email alerts to be notified when orders come in from their customers, from your customers. So you could set this up with customer service representatives, accountants, the boss, the CEO, your third-party warehouse, your physical warehouse in Pennsylvania. If you have a 3PL in California, that's fine too. Email notifications will be able to go out, and this is going to provide you with kind of a dashboard to view your orders, and you'd be able to navigate to a particular partner. So if you just wanted to look at Amazon orders, we added this quick search, which allows for quicker querying of orders or trading partner specific documents. If you had the PO number, you can throw the PO number in that column. But quick search allows for the narrowing in and the focus on a single order or orders. Okay. From here, you would be able to view, print your transaction any way you'd like. There's a few different actions at the top here. Most customers just double click, open up orders to just view the details of the order. So as you can see here, we have different tabs laid out. So Amazon sent me an order today. It has 2 line items on it. Looks like we're dealing with some hand sanitizer, pretty popular product nowadays. So we're selling 2 different types of hand sanitizer to Amazon. That looks great. If you want to view a PDF of the order, right, we're going to translate it into a nice PDF for you. And this is going to be consistent across the 93,000 trading partner connections that we can establish for you. So whether it's a Target order, Amazon, Walmart, it'll look similar. It's going to vary depending on the trading partner, because every trading partner, every source, whether it's Shopify or Magento, has different fields. So that's to be expected, but we'll present to you a nice clean 8.5 by 11 PDF that you can drop into your downloads, or you can print out to a local printer. You'd also have the ability of reading raw data if you enjoy or if you're familiar with EDI. There is EDI available for you, and you can also view all the data that comes in from any of your customers or going out to your customers as well. Okay. And I'm focused today mostly on customers, but again, we do have purchasing integration. Shane had on that slide that broke down which documents we integrate with QuickBooks. Purchasing integration is pretty popular, especially with dropship scenarios where you have a third-party vendor shipping on your behalf. So that's good to know. And then third-party warehousing is pretty popular too. So we'll touch on that in just a moment. So before we manually trigger the creation of sales orders, I'll just open QuickBooks 2021 and show you the orders that I have in the system now. So I was a little busy this morning with Amazon and Bed Bath & Beyond, but really that's it for the orders. So let's change that. Let's add to my sales order list manually. Okay. Again, if you automated this with Scheduler, you wouldn't have to click any button. But if you wanted to, you can come in and select the orders and click Export. So we have two flavors of our solution. We can set it and forget it, kind of like that Tesla model where you can be in the driver's seat, but you can set it on cruise control or whatever they call it, and it drives for you, right? And you just manage when you get a notification saying something went wrong, okay? If something went wrong, that's when you take control back of the steering wheel. So you can also operate in a manual sense, like the old Jeep Wrangler where you're driving with a manual transmission with a stick. So you can push buttons or you can automate it. So you can have the customer that wants the Tesla or the Jeep Wrangler, and you're going to be fine. We'll help the client or your customer or your business set this up in a manner that makes sense for the business. Okay. And as you can see, we just populated a few orders in here: Home Depot, Commerce Hub, Kroger, Pet Supplies Plus. Whether that's an automated event or a manual action, you can now see those orders populating QuickBooks as sales orders. You can also create sales invoices or sales receipts, sales estimates as well in QuickBooks Online. But item translations to be expected. You're going to sell multiple products and to multiple different customers or different channels. They may order the product referencing a UPC versus eBay that references the buyer part number, or a SKU that Target references. If you're receiving 3 different item codes for the same item in QuickBooks, that's no problem. Or if you have a different unit of measure, if you're getting an order in cases, but you're tracking your inventory in eaches, we have the flexibility of our tools to help with that. So we can look up data, translate data. We can write to any native field in QuickBooks as well as your custom field. So if you create custom fields in QuickBooks Desktop, we can write to those fields. We just need to know the name of the field. If you're using the 3 custom fields in QuickBooks Online, we can write to those as well. All right. There's price validation, there's duplicate document detection, there's inventory validation. So when the order comes in and is created in QuickBooks, you can tell QuickBooks how to handle the situation if you're short on stock for a particular item. Okay. This order is going to be sent to my third-party warehouse. So I have a third-party warehouse that handles my Pennsylvania shipments, and then I have another warehouse in Virginia that's going to be set up with Pack and Ship, TrueCommerce's shipping solution. So what we'll do is switch gears a little bit, save and close. All right. And we're going to go back into Transaction Manager, and we're going to go to the outbox. Okay. Now you'll notice before I move to the outbox, you're going to notice that when the orders are successful in QuickBooks, the orders will automatically move to the received folder, right? So the orders that are successful in QuickBooks will just move to a different folder. You can see those orders here. You can even click and see the sales order number. If you click on that little blue folder, it shows you that sales order number, QB Connect 38, right? So in Transaction Manager, there's really only the 4 folders, all right? You have the inbox where inbound transactions come in. Once you take action on those orders, they move to the received folder. And then in the outbox, you're going to be able to see documents that need to be sent out, right? So if you want to send Amazon this ship notice that Pack and Ship created a couple minutes ago, right, you can send that off, right? To get data into the outbox from QuickBooks would be a process of importing and sending, or importing and fulfilling if you're using TrueCommerce's Pack and Ship. I'm going to click on import. Again, you can drive this manually or in an automated fashion. If you manually clicked import, you're going to notice this little prompt, right? And you may not see this. Your company, if you set up with just QuickBooks integration, you probably won't be prompted to select what type of import this is. But if you had a third-party warehouse that uses a system like Starship, or you had a system like Fishbowl or Activate or Advanced Pro or All Orders, files are most commonly transmitted from other systems, and we need to adapt to that, and we need to import that data, whatever type of data it is, whether it's XML, a comma separated value file, or CSV, a text file, JSON. So we have a lot of capabilities with our mapping tools to digest and consume any document from any source. Okay. With QuickBooks, it's a direct API integration. So I want to point out the file integration, but with QuickBooks, there are no flat files being exchanged. It's a direct communication with your QuickBooks company file. Or if we were talking about QuickBooks Online, it's a direct web service integration with QuickBooks Online. So we're communicating directly to Intuit servers. Okay. Either way, the integrated search is going to appear very similar, whether it's QuickBooks Online, whether it's QuickBooks Desktop. You'll be able to search for vendor purchase orders, customer sales invoices, customer sales orders. You can even pull credits and send those out to your customers as well. All right? And this list will evolve as time goes on, but we've been doing this for well over 15 years with QuickBooks. Okay, I personally have only been doing it for about 10. What most customers will end up doing is saving your searches, sales order to warehouse. So if you have a third-party warehouse, right, we'll be able to pull those sales orders from QuickBooks and send it to the third-party warehouse, right? If you're using the Pack and Ship solution, same process. You run the search, QuickBooks will return the sales orders that are listed in QuickBooks that have not yet been processed. So we're keeping track of what transactions have been processed, okay, and which haven't. So these orders you can see on the screen haven't been processed, and I can go in and I can click a couple orders here. These are your QuickBooks sales orders, and we're going to import those in. And behind the scenes, we're going to translate those 4 sales orders into outbound documents that are going to be sent out to, again, a third-party warehouse, or maybe we're talking about sending data to Pack and Ship for fulfillment, right? So if you automated this, there's really not much to see or to show, but that's kind of what you're looking at as it relates to getting your sales orders from QuickBooks out to your warehouse, whether it's your warehouse or a third-party warehouse. If it's a third-party warehouse, you're probably going to send that out on an automated schedule. If you're sending orders to Pack and Ship, which we're going to touch on next, there's just a different mechanism for that. It's called fulfill. So we just fulfill the orders to Pack and Ship. It's the same process as sending. Okay, it's just a different action. Okay, so as those are being fulfilled, you'll notice that they're going to move to the sent folder. So anything that you send or fulfill moves to the sent folder. Again, 4 folders, very easy to navigate, and you can automate a lot of this so that you don't even have to push buttons. Okay, so let's navigate to Pack and Ship. Now there's 2 different ways to access Pack and Ship for the warehouse. Pack and Ship can be used in more of a standard Windows fashion with a list of orders. So if you wanted to navigate to the root menu of Pack and Ship, you're going to see orders and shipping. So let's first tackle orders and just show you what that looks like. We kind of saw that previously with the list of orders, and I can batch ship. So we'll go there first, and then we'll go to shipping and just pull up more of a traditional packing and shipping process that most warehouses would see. So I'm going to use my quick links. Again, quick links are great. They just help you navigate more efficiently through the process if you're going in here clicking buttons. If your warehouse was set up with a quick link for orders or for the shipments and pack and ship, when they log in, this could be the first screen that they see. Okay, so they can go in and they can select the order and they can ship it, or they can print it, or they can sort, or you can add tags to your order. So you can group orders together, add multiple tags, add it to a group, and then you can batch ship orders based on that filter. All right. If you wanted to individually ship an order, there's the ship button here. That ship button I have set up on the left with a quick link will take me to the same place. And this would be that more traditional experience of your orders on the right and your shipment is on the left. All right, so step 1 of pack and ship would be to pull up that QuickBooks sales order. Okay, so if you want to pull up QBCT30, right, you can scan that barcode on the order on the pick list and it'll automatically add that order to a shipment. So step 1, add order to shipment. Okay, once you've added the order to the shipment, you'll see the items from the order on the left. You can add your product images, your weights, your dimensions, your packing quantities shown here, so that if you manually clicked the arrows to pack the boxes on the right, that will allow you to pack the 12 in the first box. Maybe you want to add 6 of the gallons of hand sanitizer to the same box, add a package. And there's different modes that you can go through. Notice how I'm in the packing mode. There's also shipping mode, which is more of simple shipping. You just want to put the ship to address in, have a box, throw product in it, weigh it, done. You can do that. Okay, so there is the simple ship mode, which I'll show you. This again is just add boxes, right? Weigh the box, that's it. Packing mode would be telling your customer which items are in which box. It's also going to be telling your carriers which items are in which box. This will not only help with commercial invoices, bill of ladings, but your EDI labels. If you ever have any EDI need or even a Commerce Hub need where you have to specify which tracking number is associated to which box with specific items in it, you can get very granular in here. And this also works with pallets. So if you wanted to add pallets to the mix, we also support pallets. So you can put items in boxes and boxes on pallets, right? So you can get pretty complicated. It's very robust in that you can add on features as you go. We have a volume cartonization module, which allows for the auto packing of your products in boxes or on pallets based on your weights, dimensions of your products, and the weights and the weight capacity, I should say, the weight capacity of your boxes and pallets. So there's a lot of additional functionality we're not going to be able to cover today, but just to let you know, there's a lot going on in pack and ship, and we're hoping that it takes some interest in it. So we'll go ahead and just pack out the 4 boxes here, and then we'll complete the shipment. You don't need to ship complete. You'll get a notification warning you that, hey, you didn't fully pack this order, right? This shipment is not complete, and that's okay, right? Back orders are going to happen. You may not have enough product on hand to fulfill every order every day. You might have to wait a day and come back to it, and that's to be expected. So you'll always be able to access older orders or older shipments, right? And there's a few ways to get to the carriers. You have different buttons in different places. Really depends on the user and their preference, what they would like to, how they would like to execute this. Okay, so we've packed the order into 4 boxes. I have rules. We have shipping rules that you can create that allows for either the selection of your service level and your carrier, or you can have a group configured so that you can rate shop. If the order in QuickBooks specifies the carrier and the service level or the type of FedEx ground versus FedEx second day air, right? We can use that data from QuickBooks to capture the rates as well. Address validation, very important, right? You want to send the correct address. So when you're getting your rates back from FedEx, UPS, USPS, Purolator, Canada Post, right? You want it to be accurate. So if we're getting rates back for 4 boxes, we want to make sure that those 4 boxes are properly weighed or the weights are calculated. But we also want to make sure that you're sending the right address so that the rates are more accurate. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just select FedEx ground. If you want to set a default to select the cheapest or the quickest rate, that's completely fine. All right, let's process a new shipment. So we're going to add a QuickBooks order to a new shipment. So I'm going to add the QuickBooks order to a shipment, and we're going to pack this shipment out. We'll add 24 hand sanitizers to the first box. We'll add a second box and put the remaining balance on in the second box. Now we'll go ahead, move forward with the carrier selection. Okay. I'm going to clear out my default FedEx ground, and we'll do another rate shop. Okay. Accept the address. Address validation is very important in that we send the correct address to FedEx or to UPS so that we can get accurate rates. We're sending the details of the two boxes to FedEx or to UPS. And when the rates are returned, you can select the cheapest rate or the quickest rate depending on your preference. If I come in and click ship it, right, we're not only going to get the FedEx labels for the two boxes, we're also going to receive two EDI labels for the two boxes because it's very important for Amazon Vendor Central to put the correct shipment details in the outbox so that we can send Amazon the details of those two boxes with the carton IDs and the items in the box. Okay, so we'll come back. Let me ship another order. So again, you don't need to select and click the order. You can hook this up to a scanner. So if you wanted to scan the barcode on the order, right? Scan the barcode, that'll add the order to a shipment. All right, and so this order is a little smaller. Let's partially ship this order out. And you can also scan your items into boxes. You don't have to click. So I've been clicking, but you can also scan the items to the box. So if you want to move the full quantity over to the first box, you can scan or click. Okay. Add package. Now for case pack shipping, like we're doing today with the quantity of 6 is the packing quantity, and that goes to a box. I would flip this into full case packing mode and pack all, and it'll auto pack out those 2 boxes or 4 boxes or 6 boxes, putting the items in the appropriate box automatically without you having to do that manually. So there is the quick ship feature, different packing modes or shipping modes. We'll go ahead and get a bill of lading created for this shipment. So I'll select my LTL carrier, S Trucking, and I can just click ship it. And you can have address validation occur for the LTL shipments as well. But this is going to generate EDI labels, and instead of a FedEx label or 2, we'll get a bill of lading, a standard VIX BOL. Now, packing and shipping seemed like a lot of work to get those 2 orders out. But if you wanted to just come in to that order screen and just view all of the orders that are in the ready to ship status, right? And that's what you're seeing here. So you can come in and you can select the orders and you can just batch ship those orders out, and you don't have to wait. You don't have to go individually order by order. Okay. So batch shipping is pretty slick. It'll just print out those orders for you. Back in Transaction Manager, because Transaction Manager and Pack and Ship live under the same umbrella, they both live in Foundry, you're going to be able to quickly navigate from one application to the next. And if we navigate to the outbox, you're going to see that we have multiple shipments now going out the door for Amazon. So the ASN auto-create functionality with Pack and Ship is a huge godsend for all of our customers that are dealing with EDI customers. But this can also send your shipping detail directly back to Shopify or back to WooCommerce or back to Magento, back to Target.com. Okay, so auto-creating those ship messages with the carton details, the itemized detail for the pallets, and also the bill of lading or the tracking information is going back out as well, right? So not only is Pack and Ship going to auto-create ASNs, it's also going to create messages that are going to be fed back into QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is going to see these messages as invoices, basically, and we're referencing the sales order number, all right? So when we send this shipment into QuickBooks, let me just open this up real quick. So we're going to look at order ending in 24, Okay, and this has all of the details of what was packed and shipped. Okay, and then we're going to be able to take this and in QuickBooks. So just notice the open balance. Okay. I'm going to select this message and we're going to release that to QuickBooks. Again, you don't need to press export. That can be set on a schedule. So if you wanted this scheduled to automatically feed QuickBooks sales invoices, completely fine. You can do it manually. You can do it with a click of a button. I don't think I was looking at the right order. Oh, it was that order, 24, not 34. My apologies. Okay. So invoice in full. Okay. And let's do that again, just because I showed you the wrong order. We'll just select both of these shipment messages and we'll just look at QuickBooks and you'll see the column over here change for 2 of those orders. Okay. So what we're doing now is creating invoices based on what you said you shipped. All right. So now invoices are captured, invoices are created. If I go to my invoice list, right, you'll see invoices ready to go. Sending invoices out, very much like sending inventory levels out. The inventory levels and the invoices can go out automatically, or you can press import. For the sake of time, we're going to just click on a save search called QB invoices, and this is going to call out to QuickBooks, asking QuickBooks for any invoice that hasn't been processed. So any invoice that we've created today or yesterday can now be sent back to Amazon. So we created these invoices based on what was shipped, and we're then going to be able to import those invoices from QuickBooks, sending those invoices back out directly to Amazon or whoever the customer may be. All right. So invoices are going to be sent out automatically. And then one last click, and then I'll kick control back over to Shane. So inventory levels, very important to send updated inventory levels to your customers so that their website reflects the correct quantity available that you have reflected in QuickBooks. We can even parse out the quantities across different customers, so we can pull percentages for your items and send specific percentages for certain customers. So 50% of my inventory is going to go out to Amazon, 25% of the inventory goes to Target, and then the remainder goes to Shopify. Okay. But pulling an inventory list from QuickBooks is just going to give us the quantity on hand, quantity on order, quantity on sales order as well. And we can do some math for you to calculate which customer gets which allotment of inventory. Foundry is a truly cloud-based platform on which all of our applications reside, including Transaction Manager and Pack and Ship, which we spent some time on today. Sending can be automated. And again, I'll just leave on the note of Scheduler, because Scheduler is going to be the solution that automates the communication from inbound orders or outbound orders to vendors, but most likely inbound customer orders will be brought in from your channel and into QuickBooks. I want to thank everyone today for being patient with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your QuickBooks Connect, and hopefully we'll see you next year in real life. Shane, I'm going to kick control back over to you if you don't mind.
Yeah, awesome. Let me grab controls here. Okay, yeah, thanks, James. That was a really good presentation there. Definitely appreciate you showing everyone Foundry there. I just want to, go over a few more things with everyone. TrueCommerce, again, is a true managed service solution. So I want to just quickly touch on our implementation and support service methodology to give you a good understanding of where we're at with that. So let's, start by implementation. A lot of times this can be, scary for new customers of ours. This is, EDI is something that's possibly brand new to them. An e-commerce integration, they've never seen or heard of anything like that in the past. So, I just want to really reiterate that we're not going to just throw this in your lap and make you try and figure this out by yourself. We have somebody there every step of the way. And, with almost 13,000 active customers worldwide, we have a complete time-tested implementation methodology that we use to ensure your success. So, we work closely with you and your teams to plan out activities, train the users and the trading partners, and then we tailor the configuration to your specific needs. And then lastly, as far as, support goes, you do have standard and emergency support all available and included. So your standard support is going to be, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Really, there's 4 ways to reach our support. Traditional phone and email are obviously, always going to be there. We also, within our customer center that you would gain access to upon becoming a customer, you can you can submit support cases for different items that you might need help with as well. And then within the last, year or so, we did implement a live chat feature. It lives directly within Foundry. So, if there are any questions and you want to just, reach out to a support member using the live chat feature, you can do that as well. We do understand that things can go wrong or their questions can come up outside of normal business hours. So you do always have a critical support line that you can call into as well. It's 24/7, all US-based support. So, those 2 options, you don't pay any extra for them. They're all included with our solution. So in conclusion, I understand this was a lot of information. James, showed at very high level, the Foundry applications, but it was definitely a lot. So I just want to kind of go over some key takeaways with everybody. First and foremost, you get to work with a trusted Intuit QuickBooks partner. We're going to help replace the need to have multiple software vendors with one streamlined solution. We're going to help you increase efficiency and automation with our integrations. We've seen a lot of people companies, be able to get ready for explosive growth with our solution. And then lastly, you get our US-based support, fully managed service. So if you have any questions or would like to learn more about TrueCommerce and how it can fit your particular business process, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. The email on the screen, edi-marketing@truecommerce.com, or you can call us direct at 888-430-4489. So I just want to thank everyone for joining today. James, thank you very much for the presentation that you were showing as well.
Yeah, and thank you, Shane. Thank you, everyone, and hope to hear from you soon.
Awesome. Yeah, and thanks everyone for joining. I hope everyone does have a great rest of your day here at QuickBooks Connect.